I want to go more in depth to this experience I had as a child, to give you more understanding on how this process worked in me. And in a way, throughout my adult life and throughout my spiritual practices, my self-development I've been doing, it has always stayed with me, this practice that I had as a child. And I have been trying over and over to kind of re-establish this practice. And it never has become as powerful as it was when I was a child. But I have been able to reach certain states, and I know that it has some value in understanding, and it has helped me. And I think this information can help you also to find your own practice. So from my understanding, the way to get enlightened isn't like a fixed formula. And that's kind of one of the most important things to understand, that no guru or no great book will explain to you a formula that you can repeat so you get enlightened. I would say that this enlightenment, or this passing through into the other side, is something that grows in you. And I felt quite a lot that there was different steps, but for sure there was a healing process before my body was able to carry all this energy and to kind of open up to the present moment. There was a lot of just going through different parts of my body and charging it with energy. So I guess everybody has different problems with their body. So basically I'm kind of first self-healing, balancing, and then taking next step and so forth. So what this gives you is this important, that the most key thing is just this state of being super interested, knowing that there is this guiding force, and if you listen to it, it will take you further. It's really like that. Like it's difficult to put into words, but it was this feeling that I should be doing something. And I did. Let's say breathing, for example, which is the core practice. Following the breath, like obviously there's many breathing exercise being taught, how you can follow your breath in different patterns and so on, which to a large extent would be sometimes exactly matching what I was doing. But we should not focus on the amount of seconds going in or out and such, but rather how do you feel, what do you feel like doing. So if your body is telling you to take 5 breaths in and 6 out, that's fine. If it tells you to take 1 just and slowly breathe out, if your body tells you that, then that's what you need right now. It's just about you. It's nobody else can know what you need, at least not that I know of. So the change is kind of, it swaps the whole exercise from just following your breath to actually finding your inner guide. That is the thing. And you will feel it quite you'll feel it when it happens. It's like you feel it just flowing by itself. You're not really doing something, but you notice that things are changing. You kind of suddenly you start breathing faster, and it was not a conscious decision to do that. You just felt encouraged, you just did it. It's just happening. And this is really all you need, to listen with interest. Listen to everything, feeling everything, and then acting upon it. And if you do this for a while, there will be like a reinforced feedback, because you will feel that things happen. For example, if you're having a steady breath for a while, you might feel that your energy is kind of collected in your belly, and then suddenly you get this urge to hold your breath and squeeze your buttocks, which is something that I did quite a lot. So it's called like a root lock in yoga. So I have a lot of energy, like, and suddenly I take this deep breath, full in, maybe take a little bit extra air, and then squeeze my buttocks, making this lock, and I can feel the energy rise. It's like, you can hear it like this, because you get this pressure in your ear. You can feel it, kind of, you can even see being brighter if you do this with a lot of energy. And then you feel the whole body's energy flow has changed. And this creates this feedback, because if you're following just your own intuition, and that intuition leads you to states that are pleasant and interesting, you understand that process you're going through, this inner guide, was actually giving you something useful. It's not random stuff happening. I could really feel that what I was doing had a result over and over again that gave me an interesting experience. It was so interesting that I couldn't stop doing it. It was so fantastic that this inner exploration, this growing, this thing happening to me was so interesting. And this is what I want you to remember in your practice. It's always about feeling what is happening in you and following your own pace, your own rhythm. Because many people are inclined to follow some guru or some teacher, which is all great. But if you follow this pattern, let's say if you're listening to a CD of someone going through this guided meditation, sure, that can be nice, and you can follow along, and it can create change in you, but it will not be adapted to your condition, to you, where you are in this very second. So while this could be a great influence, and it could be very interesting for you to learn these techniques, just as I'm teaching techniques in this series, it's important that you put it into your own space and make it your own, because the pace, the pattern, the rhythm in this guidance that comes from an external source will never match your personal speed, and it might not address issues you have. There's 10,000 different exercises that can help for 10,000 different problems, but you need to concentrate on what you need. And you already know. This is the thing. This is the intelligence that you already have. So please do continue with your current practices, but as you're doing it, stay in the moment and feel, do I want to take a pause? Do I want to continue? What is my inner guide telling me? And if the inner guide tells you to change the practice, to maybe do the posture in a different way, change your sequence of asanas, whatever it might be, follow that inner wisdom and have trust, deep trust, that you are the greatest teacher. only your own guide knows you. Only your own inner guide can guide you to get this state of consciousness that it wants to have, the liberation of your consciousness. So to continue a little bit on this subject, I can just express some of the basic things that I went through, even though you kind of don't need it. But to start with, it's the breath work. As a child, I was lying and I was doing this breathing. Kind of, it could be different tempos, but from the beginning it was quite normal, just a little bit stronger maybe. I was following my breath, but my attention was always like, what's gonna happen next? Am I gonna take a deep breath, a shallow breath? Am I gonna breathe fast? So this was like, it was like this, I'm just looking, wow, what's gonna happen next? This is the thing. So doing that, I could notice that my energy in my body, in my heart, in my belly started growing. And as it grew, I knew that this was a good thing. So while breathing, I often put my attention that in every in-breath, I received energy from everywhere. And when I'm breathing out, I was pushing this energy into different areas of my body. Usually it started with the belly, just filling the belly with energy. And as this energy builds up and there was kind of enough energy, then this energy could start moving out, and I was often charging my palms or my feet. This was really like the normal thing, to just feel the energy. And that's really interesting, because as I gain a lot of energy in my palm, for example, it really feels like that I am my palms, and everything else kind of disappears. It kind of creates a distortion of my body, it feels like, in my mind, and it's kind of interesting or funny. And then this could continue with my whole body, that I just put energy so I could feel like this force field around my whole body. And I used to call it that I felt that I had fur, because it felt like this tingling kind of electrical fur that was covering my body, like something. and it was one of my favorite kind of feeling, to have this fur feeling. But there was like many different states. But the important thing is to understand that you need to listen all the time. You cannot push this through, you cannot speed it up, and you cannot know where to put the energy. It's not like, oh, now I'm filled with energy, now I'm gonna put it all in my third eye and I'm gonna like open up my third eye. That's not how I see it. The energy will go where it needs to go, and when you're ready, things will open up. But there is no hurry. You just need to follow your own flow and know that it's coming. Everything is going where it's supposed to.